Hey, here we go. Back at you again on Horse Race Bets, getting you a little bit closer to a big weekend. And so we're going to focus in on some really, really great action coming your way from Ellis Park on Saturday. And we'll come through with our Friday play of the day as we go to the spot that we love, Del Mar, try to get that money there again. But first, let's get started. Saturday's a really, really good day. Last three races on the card at Ellis Park on the turf course, and they're three really, really interesting races, all right? First one up is the $250,000 Kentucky Downs Preview Nashville Derby. Anytime you see the word Derby, that means three-year-old boys or colts and geldings trying to do their thing. Well, this race, I think, is really, really intriguing because, well, there's not a lot of speed in the race. And they're going to go a mile and an eighth on the turf course in this race. Yinzer is the only horse that has to go, right? So Yinzer's only real chance is to get out there on the top and try and get away. But the runner that can sit just behind them and get the jump on the rest of the field is the runner I like quite a bit, and that's going to be Tomasello. And Tomasello is a runner that has enough speed that if they wanted to, they could control the pace. But with Yinzer in this race, they're not going to be able to. So you look at this runner, and the runner does a really great job of sitting just off. So if you want to go back, look at the maiden breaking score, they took the lead, and then they were really tough on the front end. They came to get him, and they held everyone off. And then they sat just off the pace the next time out, did the same thing, made that move, and had to hold off the closers. I think that's the move that wins this race. The closers will have too much work to do. Tomasello will be sitting just off of Yinzer, or if Yinzer stumbles, Tomasello can get the lead. I'd rather they rate off of Yinzer and then beat the closers to the punch. That's how we get paid. 92 morning line on this runner. To be honest with you, we'll probably be lucky to get 7-2. But we might get 92. Either way, Tomasello. In that eighth race on the card, that's taking place Saturday at Ellis Park. Race number 9 on the card will be the $250,000 Ladies Turf Sprint. 5.5 furlongs on the turf. 9 runners in here. Okay, so this is a little bit more challenging because these runners, they've seen each other in the past. Bling is probably going to be the favorite. That's the 8. And that runner has a great turn of foot and will definitely be in the mix. There's some speed, obviously, in the race because they're going 5.5 furlongs. But I'm going to go with a runner, and I'm taking a bit of a chance. But I like the running style. I like the horse has been competitive, and they get value. And what we're talking about here in this race is the number 5, Cloud Walker. Yes, I know. Ran behind Bling last time out. Well, how do they turn the tables on that one? I think they just have to get a better trip, maybe. And then you got to beat Bling to the punch. Bling is a great closing kick. Cloud Walker has the ability to stalk and rate just off the speed and then get going and beat that closer to the punch. 5, Cloud Walker is who we take there in the Ladies Turf Sprint. This is Saturday at Ellis Park. But wait, there's more. The final race on the card on Saturday is another really, really good race. I love this race. A mile on the turf going $250,000 or for $250,000. The Mint Millions Turf. Look, this is the kind of race that gets me super excited. And then if something happens on Saturday and we get a bunch of scratches or changes or whatever, which we shouldn't, then I'll be really, really upset. But the reason why I like a race like this is I see that there's plenty of pace. Even if some horses scratch out, plenty of pace. And then one of the runners that might get a lot of the support, because you can see the odds here, Mercante, to the inside the 2, going to take some money, and so will the 1, taking Candy. But there's speed in this race. Encino wants to go, Greenlight wants to go. They've got so many other horses in here that want to go. Even if some horses scratch out, I still feel like the runner that I like quite a bit in here and some value is still going to retain that value, probably going to float up. And so we'll get better price on this runner. And that runner is the 12, Steel Sunshine. Look, this horse has done the majority of the damage on the dirt track. But if you can look at that last race, was the first time they went to the turf course, and that was really nice. And if you look at the performances on the dirt, obviously the horse has been facing some really tough competition and is always right there in the mix. I think a mile distance for this runner on the turf is actually perfect because that means they'll get quicker fractions. And if this horse gets quicker fractions in front of him, I don't give a damn what's happening. This horse will close. And sometimes you're going to get added value from your rider. And it's super weird that I would say you get added value with Rafael Bejarano, right? A guy who led the nation in earnings about a decade ago, has always been consistent and is always right there. He's a really good rider. And I think that he's going to fit this horse perfectly. Still Sunshine, I think, is going to be in the perfect spot. 12-1 morning line, we will float up. We'll get 15-1 on this horse. Not kidding. And all I need is for 2 horses to go on the front end. That's all this horse needs. If he gets 3 to do a little scramble, he's golden. As long as he doesn't get into any traffic trouble, man, this horse is going to close. I'm super excited about Still Sunshine Saturday at Ellis Park. Okay? But wait. We got to get with our Friday play of the day to get you going, and we're going to go to Del Mar for that. The stake on the card there is the Real Good Deal, and they're going to go 7 furlongs in this race. And another race that's super close, right? There's a lot happening in this race. Take a look at your field here. And we get these 8 runners, and it's the 7 furlongs that always makes it tricky. So you've got some speed, right? You've got some class. And in this race, I'm going to go with a runner that I think is ready to step up. Check's on the way. That's who we're going to go with. And in this race, I feel like there's going to be enough of a setup, and Check's on the way is not going to be that far back, right? He's going to be in a spot where he can just kind of sit right off and then do his thing. And he's a very, very consistent closer. Always makes up ground. So now they go from the 6, the 5.5, and the 6. Now they go to 7. And so you look at the performances for this runner going a mile on the turf. It's inconsistent, but what they want to do is sit just off the pace. They don't want to be too far back. And I think we're going to get a really, really nice ride from Hector Berrios. And then we'll just hope to get our value. What, about 6-1 morning line? I think we'll get 9-2 at the shortest on this play. Play of the day, Del Mar, Friday, right? The number 6, Check's on the way in the Real Good Deal Stakes. And that's how we get that money going, keeping it going in the right direction. All right, that's how we do it here on episode number 118 here on Horse Race Bets. In the meantime, in between time, until next time, we will see you here. And good luck and enjoy whatever you're into.